There is a drug epidemic happening here in America. Our fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, nieces, and nephews are dying each and every day. Enough is enough. It's time to fight back. Welcome. You are now about to witness the beginnings of the underground church in America. Our government has been infiltrated with Luciferians, and our cities have been infiltrated with madness. They want our heads. They want our silence. This is our response in Christian resistance. We are a select few of Christian soldiers, and we need to know, are you down? And now, for the minister.
Super Soldier!
Gangsters! What's up, guys? Welcome back! Today I got a real good story for you this morning. It's a story from West 9th, Santa Rosa, California. After we moved when I was a young kid from San Jose, we landed in Santa Rosa, California, in a place, un barrio. It was called West 9th. Okay, it was notorious in Santa Rosa, and if you knew me from my West 9th days, and if you were a friend of mine, like, your friendship means a lot to me, you know, because I was really going through it back in those days, you know, and you know, it was like those special bonds that we had from the people that, you know, I live with in West 9th. It doesn't matter how I know you or where I know you from, but if you knew me back in those days, I really cherish your friendship. And it seems just like yesterday, right? You know? And this story I'm about to tell you, it takes it really kind of haunted me for years, you know. Really it did. You know, it takes place when I was in the 4th grade, right? And at that time in my life, I had 2 good friends that were just really good friends that were in grade school, and we would play handball together. We would do everything together. And just for the story's purpose, I'm gonna name one of them. I'm gonna call one of them, just for the story's purpose, I'm gonna call one of them Homie. And just for the story's purpose, I'm gonna call one of them Ruben. Okay, so Homie and Ruben, they were my best friends at that time in the 4th grade. And Homie, he liked this particular girl. And so that morning, what we were gonna do was we were gonna go like hang out like in front of her house. We all lived in the same basic apartments, right? And they all looked the same. They all had a carport, and they all looked basically all the same. And you know, we're gonna stand kind of by, make a lot of noise, in hopes that she would look out and notice us, maybe come out and talk to us, right? You know. And well, anyways, when we got there, we had noticed through the fence that she had an older sister that was maybe like in junior high, maybe even high school. And her older sister was making out with this dude, you know, kissing and this and that. And my friend Homie thought it would be funny just to grab some little rocks, and he threw them over the fence to where, around the general area where they would be. And he threw a couple rocks over there, and we didn't get a reaction. So anyways, we just went back to talking, making noise and everything, and just totally had forgot about that for a split second, right? Well, all of a sudden, when we least expected it, that guy came running from behind the fence. I mean, full stride. I've never seen this guy. I don't know who he was. Never seen him before in my life. He must have been from another barrio. I've never seen this guy. Short, stocky guy. He came running out. And he was much older than us, right? He was much older than us. And all of a sudden, we just turn around and we just start booking it. We're getting out of there, you know. Ruben, he's in front of me. I'm running. And Homie was behind me. And and I already knew Ruben, he was making a beeline for his house, and so I was right behind him. And the apartments, they were close together. They were really close together. Like you could reach out your hands and touch each apartment, with your hands. That's the distance that it was between each apartment. And the fence was like a 6-foot fence. So anyways, we duck into the middle of the apartments, and Ruben, he's jumping over the fence first because you only had room for one person to jump at a time, And so anyways, he gets up and he gets over, and then you kind of have to, because there's not a lot of room. And then I got up, and I was jumping over, and I kept on hearing my friend Homie behind me saying, "Hurry up, man, hurry up, hurry up." And I got up and I got over, and I start running, and I'm following Ruben. He's making a beeline to his house. I'm right behind him, and I just glance back, and I see Homie, he's halfway up already. He's halfway up, and I see a hand come from behind him and grab him, and pull him down. And then I just hear him screaming out my name, but I wasn't going to go join in that, you know what I'm saying? Because then we're both going to get beat, right? And so I left Homie behind, man. And, it's something I had been thinking about throughout the years, because I was the big homie. I was the one that should have been over there. And you know what? If he was going to take a beating, well, we're all going to take a beating, right? And in fear, I ran. I left my homeboy behind. And I run up to Ruben's house in his front of his carport, and he's bent over, just breathing, because we were just running, and he was bent over holding his knees, and he was, and I went over right next to him, and I'm just holding my knees, and Ruben, he looks up at me, and he just looks around and says, "Well, where's Homie?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I don't know, where Homie's at, and he's looking like what? I mean, where is it? Where is the guy?" And I mean, as soon as we said that, here comes Homie around the corner, and he's holding his side, and he's doing this number, and he goes, "Hey, man, I called you. And I said, "I didn't know, man. I had no idea. I didn't know. I didn't hear anything, right? And anyways, we got him. We put our arms around him, and we walk him to his house, and we knock on his front door, and I'll never forget I could see it in my mind's eye right now, even though it's been so many years, that way, his surprised look on his mom. "What happened?" And we're like, "Oh man, he got roughed up," and we dropped him off, and boom, we're gone. And we went to our separate houses. We didn't even want to hang out after that anymore. The reason I tell you this story, and the reason I tell this story throughout the years, is because, too many times we put our trust in man. We put our trust in, as Christians, we put our trust in like a preacher, or we'll put our trust in man. And whenever they fail us, or whenever man fails us, or the preacher doesn't turn out to be the man he said he was, and we lose faith, right? As Christians, we lose faith as believers, and because our focus wasn't on it wasn't on God, man. Our focus was on people, and people sometimes fail us, like I failed my homie that day, and when a preacher or a priest or whatnot, they go astray, sometimes, young Christians and Christians that are not seasoned, their faith goes astray, you know. But I want to tell you something. If your focus is solely on Christ and Christ alone, Christ will never leave you, and he never will forsake you. He never once left me. He's never once forsaken me. He's the one that sticks closer than a brother, you know. And I had let this torment me. I had keep on replaying this story again in my head, and I was thinking, you know, if we would have just kept on running, if we would have kept on, you know, and you know, if he wouldn't have thrown rock. Now I'm trying to put the blame back on homie, right? If he would have thrown those rocks, then we wouldn't be in that situation, you know. And I always play with the story and say, if we would have did this, if we would have did that, you know. So anyways, to make a long story short, so I called homie. I'm friends with him on Facebook. I called him. We were FaceTiming each other, and we were talking to each other, and I asked for his permission to tell this story, right? And he didn't even know. He didn't even remember it. After I killed myself all these years of thinking about it and tormenting myself, he didn't even remember the story until I reminded him. I hope this was a blessing to you. God bless.